Mark 1:37, extremely valuable. And when they had found him, they said unto him, all men seek for thee. This is the proof of value. All men, all nations. All men does not just mean all humans. It means business people seek for thee. It means those who are in need of the touch of Jesus seek for you. It means diplomats seek for you. All kinds of people. When you become valuable, all men will seek for you. Listen to what I wrote here. Your value and contribution determines your reward, your influence, and even your fulfillment. Let me say that again. Your value and contribution, as far as the lives and the destinies of men is concerned, your value and your contribution is what determines your reward, is what determines your influence, and is what determines your fulfillment. How true. You cannot have an impactful life when you are not a contributor in terms of your value. Now, we are not called to do everything. In fact, we are not called to have everything. I think I was teaching our lovely, was it School of Ministry students? Yes. And I was telling them that there are things I cannot do. There are things I'm not even interested in learning. There are things I don't want to do. I don't want to become. It's not part of the script of my destiny. But there are certain things I must press onto until I become, because it is part of the blueprint of my destiny. You're not called in destiny to be everything. You're not called in destiny to do everything. But the value and contribution that is required, insist and ensure that you build capacity until you are able to deliver value, extreme value. By the privilege of God's grace, we are gathered today to celebrate me by His grace. I almost feel embarrassed saying this, but I'm grateful to God for that. If I did not contend for value, number one, you most likely would not know me, or my life would not be significant enough for you to think that you need to invest your destiny, your attention, your loyalty, your support. You see that? In driving this vision. Value is very powerful. The cure for a life that is bankrupt of reward, the cure for a life that is bankrupt of influence, the cure for a life that is bankrupt of fulfillment is to be extremely valuable. Extremely valuable. For someone, you are that chef we are waiting for. Give your best to it. For someone, you are that apostle and that prophet the nations are waiting for. Give your best to it. For someone, you're that entrepreneur that needs to come and redefine the economy God's way. To someone, you are that politician who will rise with integrity and redefine how governance is done in the political space. To someone, you are that career person that needs to rise to the zenith of your profession. By all godly means, whatever it is that can make you valuable, that you can serve the nation, serve the purposes of God, make lives better, contend for it, go for knowledge, go for knowledge, go for knowledge until you become extremely valuable.
Hello and welcome to Transform Daily. Let me begin by asking you a question. What is holding you back from stepping into the fullness of your success? Often, it's not external circumstances, but internal limitations. Your mindset. Your mindset determines how you see yourself, your circumstances, and even the possibilities around you. That's why today, we'll explore some key shifts in thinking that can open the door to success in every area of your life. Let's dive in and see how God's Word guides us to transform our minds and step into His plans for us. The first mindset shift is to recognize that God is a God of abundance. He owns the cattle on 1,000 hills, and His resources are limitless. So often we focus on what we lack of time, money, or opportunities. But the Bible reminds us in Philippians 4:19, "And my God shall supply all your needs according to His riches in glory." Let that sink in for a moment. Success begins with believing that you are not limited by your circumstances. Even if your current reality looks bleak, remember that God can create opportunities out of nothing. He did it for Abraham, turning him into the father of nations when he had no child. He can do the same for you. Another powerful mindset shift is to move from fear to faith. Fear is one of the biggest barriers to success. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of the unknown. But fear is not from God. 2 Timothy 1 verse 7 says, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, and of love, and of a sound mind." Think about this. Fear paralyzes, but faith propels. Faith enables you to take bold steps even when you don't have all the answers. Remember Peter walking on water? He didn't wait for the storm to stop. He stepped out in faith, and as long as he kept his eyes on Jesus, he defied the laws of nature. What's the step of faith God is calling you to take today? Trust Him and watch Him do the impossible in your life. Another critical shift is from doubt to expectation. This is where many of us struggle. We believe God exists, but we doubt His willingness or power to move in our personal lives. Let me remind you of Ephesians 3:20. "Now to Him who is able to do immeasurably more than all we ask or imagine, according to His power that is at work within us." Expectation is the breeding ground for miracles. Imagine the woman with the issue of blood in the Bible. She didn't just hope Jesus could heal her, she expected it. She said to herself, "If I only touch His cloak, I will be healed." And her expectation drew power from Jesus. Are you expecting a breakthrough today? Start speaking life into your situation. Declare God's promises over your life and believe that He is working behind the scenes.